Hi Manpreet, how are you?
Hi Simon, welcome back.
Yeah,
I
we're
think it would be our last meeting today.
yeah, exactly. I'm really excited that we have covered past 23 hours, and I'm really looking forward for this final keynote by Suzanne, and it's
Right,
gonna be a really exciting one.
right, exactly. So welcome everyone. Welcome back to the Lightup Virtual Conference powered by CSharpCorner and the tech platform. We are back. As Simon said, we are in the last hour of our conference and we're ending up with Susan George. She's a chief architect from Cognizant Technology Solutions at Modern Workplaces and Collaboration. And the main thing out here is she is not only going to close her keynote, she is going to close the whole event. And here we are at the end of 24 hours non-stop conference being held by 142 speakers. Actually, we got some new speakers in the role. And here we are after non-sleepy 24 hours. So welcome everyone, Susan George.
Light up.
Light up.
Light up.
Light up. Light up.
Light up.
Light up. Light up.
Light up.
Light up. Light up.
Light up.
Light up. Light up.
Light up. Light up.
Light up.
Light up.
Light up.
So thank you, Manpreet and Stephen. This is such an honor to be here today, and I'm looking forward to having a conversation with you just really quickly about how we can really change the world through technologies. And this is such an important topic to me because I think one of the biggest things that we can do as a society is to work together and help enable and educate and empower people all across the world to leverage and use technologies the way that they could be, or the way that they can, to help improve lives and to make our water safe and to be able to bring that kind of togetherness and connectiveness that we need in order to really transform the world as we know it today. I mean, if you just think about what's happened over the last 100 years, the level of change and how much technology has affected that change is dramatic. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 10 years is going to be, because we're accelerating at a pace that's like very, very steep as far as what's going on. And how do we as technologists really support and enable and bring that level of change to the organizations? So one of the things I do want to highlight and talk about is the UNICEF and the support to UNICEF. I know that we have a right here on the screen. You just take a picture with your camera. Do take some time. They're a really great organization. I personally do support them and try to do as much volunteering as I can in my local community. So please, if you don't want to support UNICEF, take a look in your local community, Find things that you can do to help out. High schools are in desperate need of all of our skills. In fact, I just had a conversation yesterday with a school board member saying, how can I help? How can we get together? How can I help share with you the information that I know to help teachers really be able to teach our kids? Because our kids are not necessarily going back to school, and parents are very worried, and technology can help this problem. So donate, volunteer, do whatever you can do in your local communities to really help us make it through the pandemic, and not just through the pandemic, but even beyond. I do want to take a few moments and thank our sponsors. Without them, we would not be here, and I wouldn't be able to have a conversation with you today. So to Mindcracker, Graphite, Soho Dragon, Cardio Analytics, CSharpCorner especially, thank you so much for sponsoring this event. Really do appreciate your time and money and funds to help us organize this event. So if we can just take a few minutes and think about what COVID has done over the last 3 months that is impacting the way people work. If you looked at the video just a few minutes ago, they was talking about how people are losing their jobs, people are feeling insecure, and they don't have that work connectiveness to actually go and have conversation about it, and to feel that comfort and that confidence that tomorrow I have some sort of security. And people right now are feeling alone. They're feeling disconnected, and they're trying to navigate in very uncertain times, both at home and at work and in the world as a whole. When you add all those three things together, it impacts the employee's ability to be able to do their job effectively, which even is a cycle. It puts them more at risk for not having their job in a few weeks. And so we as technologists really need to think about, when we're building applications and when we're providing services to organizations, either as a consultant, as an IT person, as a business user just trying to learn more. Think about who your audience is. Think about how we can get them connected. Think about, how developers can use team members and work with team members. Go ask their opinion. Help those business users who you're actually working with to feel included, because they are feeling alone. And I have an interesting tidbit. I also have been working from home. I'm used to flying on a plane and being up with lots of people I don't know, people I do know, and having lots of just social conversations. But we also need to think about other things and how people are trying to cope. And many people are trying to cope by bringing pets into their homes. So if you think about, that need for connectiveness, 70% increase in adoptions, shelters not having pets to be able to adopt. This is a picture of Blanket. I adopted him right in the middle of COVID because I also wanted to feel some connectiveness to some other people, to more people than just my family. And the number of applications has been rising so dramatically that people are trying to find their way to others. And I think that point is something that we need to do when we're building applications, when we're thinking about, how do I deploy technology in my organization? How do I bring that connectiveness? How do I bring people together in a technical world? For example, there was a survey done, and they said, hey, look, I don't think that anybody would want to have a robotic animal, an animal that is virtual, an AI-enabled animal. But if they were to rethink about what is a robotic pet and what does that pet do for that person, maybe there's an opportunity there for us to help build that that emotional connection. And that's what we want to be able to bring through our applications, a connection to other people, bringing other people to them, introducing, having those hallway coffee table conversations that you might have through technology without having to be present in the room. AI, VR, dynamic bot chats, those kinds of things are things that we can bring to the table. So if we think about technology from a CIO's perspective, their landscape has changed pretty dramatically in the last 3 months. Their 5-year strategic plan has been reduced down to two months that they've implemented, and now they're thinking about what's next. So pre-COVID, their priorities were really around security, making sure that my employees have the right skills, digital transformation, business growth. But post-COVID, they're really thinking about this in a whole different way. They're really thinking about the center of the universe is the people and how they collaborate with each other. And that is a great opportunity for us in this industry, because we have Microsoft Teams, all the things that you've been learning, AI, bots, all these things bring together people in ways never before imagined, and they're very easy to configure, they're easy to use, they're easy to set up. So now we're thinking CIOs are more focused. Yes, they have different levels of security, right? Can I go into a shop and have my meeting? Probably not, right? Maybe I need to do working different ways. I can't tell you how many CIOs we've been having conversations with, and they're saying, I need to work different. We need to be able to support and handle people working remote. They need to be able to work at the office. We need some sort of blend. How do we make sure everyone is safe? How do we keep in contact with our employees? There's like all of these new options that we're having to take care of and to really think about how do we work different today than we did 6 months ago. Innovation is really big. In the center of everything, they're seeing connections and collaboration being key. And that's this whole conference you've been learning about teams and all these things that really help people get connected. And it's now up to us at the end of the conference to go leverage what we've learned. And some of the things that I'd like to encourage is really taking 4 main kind of pillars around all of the technology that you've learned and bring it up a level and say, what am I doing? What am I trying to build? Maybe I'm the team's admin, but really, am I just the team's admin? I'm really more than that because I need to know about security. I need to know about DLP. I need to understand about SharePoint. Maybe I'm another type of a person. Maybe I'm just a SharePoint person. Well, expand your horizons and really understand before you implement your application, what is the reason for this to be, right? How am I bringing people together with this application? Am I doing something that's really going to mean something to the organization? Or am I making something that's very difficult that no one's going to use? The key here is adoption and really understanding why I'm doing something. The next thing, it's really about the application that you deliver. It's not really about the individual components. It's not about SharePoint. It's not about using the buzzwords, bots, AI, cognitive services. It's not about those things. It's really about what things can I bring together to really make something that's transformative to the organization. And one of the key things around that is to not think about data from people. Data is just another word for a person. How can I bring data to a person? How can I bring two people together? How can I bring data to people? How can I take data and bring in the right people to have a conversation? Maybe something's going on in the infrastructure and I need to alert the right people. How can we do that through automation and intelligence? Maybe I'm a person and I'm asking for certain sets of information and I need to go reach out into the data lakes and data warehouses and say, hey, where is this information? Or maybe conversations. How do we bring all that together and really take data and transform that and bring it together with people? And then finally, one of the things that CIOs want to hear, the way that you can really make sure that you're being the best that you can be is to how can you use this application that you're building to drive efficiency? How can we bring home, a application that's very smart, that can do what it needs to do, but yet deliver results for the organization. I'll tell you a story. Last year at Microsoft Inspire, there was this case study that was done, and there was a person, he was just a normal employee in the organization, and he thought, hey, look, I have the ability to use Power Apps. I went and did an online training. I'm good to go. And I'm going to go automate this little thing. So he goes, spends a couple, maybe a couple days learning how to use Power Apps, how to build it out the way he needs to. He deployed it in the organization and brought it up, and at the end of the day saved over $1 million a year. These are the kinds of things that we want to look for. Low-hanging fruit that can drive efficiency throughout the organization. And you're thinking, okay, so what are all those things? How do I figure all this out? This is my landscape. There's no way I'm going to be able to figure out all this stuff. I've got Dynamics. I got Office 365. I have Power Platform. I have AI and mixed reality. I have Azure. I have Insights. I have all this stuff that I have access to. And you don't have to be an expert in all these things. What you need to do is understand that they exist. And then if you find, hey, I need to get some more about Dynamics, or hey, maybe I need to do some more with AI, you can reach out to those people who can give you those elements of things that you need so that you can really build a new next generation application that's going to do the things that I suggested a minute ago. Just how do we make, efficiencies in the organization? How do I build something that people are going to use? So if we think about what does it mean and what does it take to build that next generation solution, one of the things you want to start with is really saying, hey, I need to build something that people are going to want to come to, right? It needs to be built on a platform that everybody uses already. I shouldn't have to teach it. I shouldn't have to learn it. I shouldn't have to go educate, write FAQs. And right now, I think it's over 90% of organizations are using Teams in some way, or they're using some other collaboration platform. So if you have that collaboration platform and you want to connect people and people to data, start there and say, how can they use this tool better, and how can I add on top of it to start bringing in these extra add-ons and collaboration elements. Some of the popular demos that we're doing with organizations today really aren't anything other than a configuration inside Azure, like the FAQ bots, or the FAQ++, or the Microsoft accelerators that are out there free on the web just for Teams. They have Power Apps ideas and accelerators that you can use there. You can build your own. There's so many avenues for you to start, but start somewhere and say, hey, what is my platform that I'm going to use? And then instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to put in 100 features, I'm going to put in 2 features, and I'm going to actually figure out how to make those work really well, get people excited about that, do what we call MVP approach, which is minimum viable product. Start small, build a little bigger, get feedback, get understanding of how it's working, where people want it to go, and you'll find that over time, your application is going to be much more adopted, liked, appreciated, and it's going to have more longevity as a result. So once you've kind of figured out, hey, I've got my MVP, I've got my features, these are the things I want to do, I'm going to start leveraging some other technologies. That slide I just showed you a moment ago that had everything in the kitchen sink on it. You're going to say, well, I think I want to add a little bit of AI. So maybe I can go do a little bit of learning here and watch a couple videos, go to a session just like this for the last 24 hours, right? There's so many avenues for us to learn those new things. Leverage some of those technologies, and then think about how can I make those critical events and link that to the line of business data information. And then how can we get collaboration layered on top? Don't forget the power of co-authoring. Co-authoring is very, very simple, but just by the bringing in and incorporating this into your applications and really making that part of your business flow as you're building it is a game changer. Many people are still emailing around documents. Hey, go take a review. Okay, I've got 15 versions. I have to merge them in. Oh, we can save them many, many, many hours of time by just introducing them to the collaboration element and build that into your applications and build that into your workflows. And the reason why all of these things are super important is there's this famous physicist. His name is James Clerk Maxwell. And he's very intelligent. He invented all these Maxwell theorems that we can only barely pronounce. But one of the things that he talked about was diversity. Everyone has a different point of view, and being able to get that point of view and understand that point of view and really put yourself in their shoes just for a moment is going to make you better. It's going to make us all better. He was saying, his quote here is in relation to math and physics, and it's a little technical, but the bottom line is really around embracing the diversity of the employees and the people that you're writing these applications for. Understand who they are. Where are they coming from? What landscape are they working on? Are they a sales guy that used to be on a plane flying around everywhere, traveling everywhere, and now he's sitting at home trying to figure out how does he get in contact with all of his clients? How does he keep track of all of his clients? How does he get that face-to-face, in-person relationship with his clients? We can introduce them to Teams. Hey, I've got a video. Hey, let me show you how you can bring your customer and you together in the same place and you guys have conversation. Let me show you how to connect two people together. And it's really all about, once you understand the platform that you're going to use, once you understand the tools and the available out-of-the-box functions and the way that you can configure it, you can take diverse people, maybe the sales guy, and maybe you can introduce a sales guy to the marketing person, and maybe the marketing person has some ideas. So bringing those people together in unique and different ways is really going to be a game changer. And I think way back, when James was around, I'm sure he would agree, diversity we need to embrace. And even today, there's, diversity and that we should embrace it. And my whole thing is there's been a lot of conversation around power of one. What can I do? I'm just so small. I'm just one person. We're an organization of 300,000 people. I'm just a dot on the map. But I'd like to change this around and encourage everyone to think about it's not the power of one, it is the power of me. What can I do? How can I make change in this big giant organization? I may be a entry-level associate. I may be a mid-level engineer. I may be the architect, but what can I do to make sure that I make an impact in the world, not only in the world itself by volunteering and doing things that are going to help others, but really inside my organization? How can I make my mark on the organization so that I can make the organization drive their efficiencies, be a valued person, be the one that people want to come to. We all want kind of that respect and understanding that, hey, I am valued. And there are 4 main pillars that I'd like to encourage you with as we close up the conference this week. And I know some people have been up 24 hours, so they're probably thinking, hurry through this, but go learn. Even I want to learn every day. I attended a couple of sessions on the conference. I try to attend as many conferences as I can because other people's perspectives help me redefine and align mine, right? Just as I was mentioning a few minutes ago, I need to put myself in other people's shoes. I need to learn what people have to offer. Solve problems that people aren't thinking about. Think about taking this information and you're thinking, well, if I could just automate this, okay, automate it, right? Solve that problem that nobody's solving. Think about that thing that nobody's thinking about. Build that application that's going to bring people together. Teach others. Teaching people helps you really solidify your place in what you're doing. And there is no greater feeling than being able to bring someone up that is learning and wants to learn and being able to give that to others. The whole premise around giving is so important. And then finally, solving problems. Really thinking about things differently. How can I move things forward in a different direction? So let's think about just what it means to learn, right? John F. Kennedy had a quote where he said, hey, leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. If you want to lead, if you want to take that next step in your career, if you want to build that next great application, all those things depend on your ability to learn and to listen to what others need to have to say, really thinking and reading and blogging and all those things really help you define, hey, this is where the gaps are, right? Because that's what you're trying to look for. You're learning what other people are doing. You're learning how they do it. You don't want to step in their landmines that they've already stepped in. So learn from the technologies, learn from conferences, and you already spent 24 hours learning at this one, so that's really great. This is a great start. Keep up. Keep going to conferences. Keep learning. Another thing that I would like to say is when you're solving problems, Carly Fiorna, she was a secretary and she ended up being a CEO of one of the largest organizations in the world, just from technology's perspective. And if you think about it, one of her great things that she was wanting to say is, hey, wake up every morning, do my very best, solve problems that other people haven't solved, right? Really thinking about where are those gaps? What are the gaps that I can come in and build that app that saves $1 million a year? I don't have to be the senior architect to do so. I can do it in no matter what role I am. I can be a sales guy and build something out. I was, in fact, talking to a salesperson just yesterday or last week. And I was asking him, hey, how are you using Teams? What's good? What's new? What's the things that you're using? And he's, hey, I organized my stuff like this. I started putting in tabs like this, and I have all these great ideas. And it was really great what he was doing. And he's just a sales guy. He doesn't have a special access. He didn't have extraordinary architectural design or thinking. He just took the tools that he had and he said, where are the gaps? What can I do to make my job easier? How can I connect with others? And now the sales guy is out teaching people Teams and how to do Teams from a sales point of view. And I think that's fantastic. And I think that's the challenge all of us have, is really thinking about what do I do every day and how can I make others benefit from my knowledge. The next slide or the guy I'd like to mention is really around helping others. This admiral, he gave a commencement speech at the University of Texas at Austin, and he's really says, and if you get an opportunity, I would definitely recommend watching this video. I think you can find it on YouTube. And it gives you the 10 great steps to being a leader or making yourself a success. And one of the big points that he's making is, don't look at others to do your work. Really look to yourself. What can you do to make small accomplishments every day to really get to your end game? And he starts by making his bed every day. He gets up, makes the bed, because he's, no matter what, no matter how terrible the world is, no matter how bad the day is, I know that I accomplished at least one thing. And I'd like to, have you think about just in a minute, what happens if, everybody went in their window and they shouted out the door and they all were screaming at the same time and you're trying to understand what they're all saying? Well, you can't, because everybody's screaming at the same time. But what if we were to say, hey, let me provide you a vehicle to write this down. Let me provide you a way to feel connected. Let me help you, introduce you to your neighbor across the street. Maybe you guys can have a conversation and maybe you guys would resonate with each other. So there is a power in you and what you bring, and then there's a power in numbers, because if you take one person and you impact or change one person or two, let's say you change two people change four people change 8 or 16, right? That number just gets exponential. And one of the things that the Microsoft Inspire last year that they were talking about is there are billions of people in this world, all of whom are excited and want to touch technology. Most everyone has a phone. Most everyone has the ability to have some kind of technology or get access to the technology. And that is our playground. That is what we're trying to get to. Let's bring everyone together. Let's bring their level of working in their life and what they have to do. How can we, touch everyone in the world? And that's a billion people, and there's a billion opportunities for us, the power of one, which can translate to the power of two, to the power of four, right, etc., to make change and impact our future. Because it's kind of like water. Once you start a ripple, it gets bigger and bigger, and then maybe it can even be really big. And it all started with one, right? It all started with someone coming up with that idea that was different or hadn't been, maybe it was thought of, but nobody ever tried it. Nobody ever put the pieces together. So when you're doing this, the last thing I want to impart to you is really about inviting perspective. Abraham Lincoln said, a man who represents himself has a fool for a client. And it's really about, hey, I don't know everything. And if I don't seek out, hey, what do you think of this idea? Let me do that code review with you. Am I doing this the right way? What are you thinking about this? If I don't invite that perspective, I'm not going to make it. So one of the things that I was mentioning a little earlier is really reaching out and putting yourself in other people's shoes, right? Reach out to those end users, really understand, hey, do you think this is going to work? Hey, reach out to people that are maybe the architects of your platform. If you're just the engineer, hey, what do you think of this? Can I give you this? Let me ask you some questions, right? Because once they give you their perspective, remember, it is their perspective. It is up to you to decide, are you going to choose to use that or not, right? This allows you to get more problem solved, different techniques, different thought patterns, different understandings, different points of view, because it really isn't about how smart you are or how cool your idea is. Everything deserves critique and feedback. So be sure to think about feedback. And if you think about it, some of the largest companies, even Microsoft, Bill Gates didn't do it alone. HP started in a garage with just a couple people, right? They transformed the world, right, as we know it today, but they didn't do it by themselves. So if you think about some of the ways we use big data, a person can actually change the direction of the company. That one guy who built that one power app, and there's so many examples in COVID that I know of. Around one person thought of something, threw it into a power app, threw it into a Teams chat, threw it into a Teams application, and changed the way the business runs. And I can give you so many examples of, not just that one single power app, but we've implemented several others that are all power app related. Built in 4 hours. A whole bot system was built for a healthcare industry in literally 48 hours. And it was using the Microsoft Health Bot Foundation. So really think about what can you do? And it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to learn as you go. But the point is you get that feedback as you're learning. Be much better because you'll be able to get additional perspectives and so forth around that. So in closing and in summary, I know you're all ready to about hit the road, but technology can't change the world by itself. Everything that you learned is not going to do it all by itself. It needs that human direction. You can change the world. You as an individual, you and your team, you and your company can change the world, even if it's a small change. Because remember, the ripple effect says a small change can end up being a very large transformation at the end of the day. So my COVID challenge to you, if you are willing to accept it, is believe that you can make a difference. Everything that you've learned over the last 24 hours, and if you maybe missed a session, catch it up on YouTube. But believe you can make a difference because you can. Everybody can make a difference. That power of one is so important. 2, act and choose to do something. If you see a gap, if you see somewhere where there's an actual opportunity for you to make a change, act, give it a try, go seek out, say, hey, look, I built this thing. What do you think? You're not always going to get a yes. You're not always going to get enthusiasm, but you will get feedback that may make it either better or maybe it'll make you think about another avenue to take that particular application because maybe it's not meant for sales, but it's going to be amazing for marketing. Lead and help others, not only in your group and in your teams at the office, but at home. Really take the opportunity. Schools are in desperate need of our services, right? Volunteer. Go up to the principal, go up to the teachers. How can I help you? I posted on Facebook, hey, any teachers out there? How can I help? And I had literally a dozen responses. Hey, I would really like to understand how to use this technology better. Can you give me a little one-on-one? Really thinking about to be a leader, it means you need to help others, right? You have to learn to serve others, and then through serving others and helping others, you're going to actually become more of the leader that you're wanting to be in both your career and in your code and your applications that you're going to be building. In fact, last, transform. Really think about how small changes can create lasting change, right? Little things like this, 24 hours attending this. My hope is that you learned something that will help you transform. Maybe it's going to give you the desire and the motivation to go actually be a speaker at another event. One of the great things about COVID, if there is something, is we have all of these wonderful virtual events that we can attend. It gives many, many opportunities for people to go and learn. It also gives many people opportunities who were a little more afraid to present, the opportunity to present and share the ideas with others. So really, you are someone special. Everyone that's on this call or watches this video later, you're somebody special. Let's take that opportunity to be that pebble in the water that just drops it in and creates a ripple and transforms the world. So with that, I'd like to reintroduce you to Blanket, my kitten. Exhausted as is, I'm sure our team here is, Manpreet and Stephen. So I want to give a special shout out and thank you to our speakers. They were at our keynote speakers. They're absolutely wonderful. All the speakers were wonderful. Our producers were absolutely amazing. We could not have done this without them. Again, the sponsors, without you, we would not be here. And I really appreciate you guys coming and watching, and hopefully you have a great afternoon and transform the world.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much. And as you said, the power of one, if we stop looking for that one and be that one, I think the world will be a better place. Thank you, Susan, for coming us today and supporting Lightup and UNICEF together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suzanne.
So everyone, she was Susan George from Cognizant Technology Solutions. We are still not over. We need to know what happened in the back end of all this 24-hour conference. So just stay tuned, give us 5 more minutes, and we're going to walk to you through some of the things we did and some of the new announcements. And we are going to have a raffle, and you're going to win some prizes. So for all this together, but I have a challenge for you. So somebody challenged me that we are right now at $3,900 and some dollars on our donation. If you guys make it 4,000 for me, please do it, or else I have to pay it from my pocket. So let's accept that challenge. So until that keynote is over, we need to make it $4,000. So before we go, hold on, our team is coming to meet you all. Thank you.
Light up.
Light up.
Light up.
Light up. Light up.
Light up.
Light up. Light up.
Light up.
Light up. Light up.
Light up.
Light up.
Light up. Light up. Light up.
Light up.
Light up.
Light up.
Welcome everyone. Welcome back. Before we go towards the end of the session, I would request Mahesh Chand, the founder of CSharpCorner and our mentor of everyone, to say a few words. Mahesh.
Hey guys, sorry I'm running a little few minutes late. Everybody, thank you so much for. This is the team here.
Yes, Mahesh, few of the team, because that's the limit we can have on YouTube together.
All right, awesome. Everybody can you can hear me, right? I'm just setting up my earbuds. Running late. I just had in my office. I had a attack by baby.
That's a lovely attack then.
Thank you so much, Guy, for I think we had really awesome 24 hours, and I've been watching on and off, and really appreciate you guys. Come up together, and I know it's hard, and everybody's awake for what. Manpreet is awake for 24 hours. Most of you guys are, and that's what makes it all human, and that's what makes us communities. That if one guy is busy, other can support, and somebody can help in this way, somebody in that way, and that's what also makes us human, because otherwise there's no difference between everybody else and human, right? We can do things which not other species are capable of doing it, right? And that's what it makes it community. That's what makes us human. So yeah, just I want to thank you so much for your time and support and everything else. And I'm here. Anything else I can help you with, anything. So it's all you, Manpreet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you. So I would tell everyone, Mahesh, if you want him, he will do anything for you. And if you need any motivation, you are looking for a path to follow, just go to him, just ask him, tweet him, LinkedIn him.
No, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to give you.
He's lying. He's lying. He will reply you even if it's midnight. Okay, tell me what's the problem. Like, he is that guy. So thank you, Mahesh. Thank you. You are a big support for this Light Up to grow in. I still remember how we started and how we are ending today. Thank you, Mahesh, for being a part of it.
Yeah, no problem. I
Simon,
think
that's my
again, one thing is, people think that there's two, few guys are usually in the front, but there's a team behind it. That's what it makes it really success. Otherwise, one guy can't do anything. We just talked and provide this platform, but you guys are doing the whole work, right? You are working hard.
Right, Mahesh. So that's what I'm going to drive in today, is to show how and what we did in the back end with all the people with us on the screen. And there are many who are left behind, but they are with me, and I'm going to announce their name for a big shout out. So first, Simon, is my screen up?
Yeah, the screen is there.
Sure. I'm watching it also on the YouTube live streaming here to see if it's going up.
It's a lag of 10 seconds, yeah.
Okay. So firstly, I would say...
This is live?
Yep.
Yeah. So firstly, I would like to thank everyone, all the attendees who joined in. We had enormous people hitting our Microsoft Teams server. We are going to share the analytics report soon on the Twitter handles. People were there asking questions, replying back things. It was a very informative sessions, and 24 hours. Like, it was going out so rapidly. And thank you all attendees for being there, for the speakers, listening to them, and being a part of it. Now the main thing, the donation. So right till now, we have collected $3,920. And as I challenged you a couple of minutes back, kindly make it 4,000. Just go forward. In the last 10 minutes, do as much donations as you can and support the work. Again, we always told people, do not donate like a big amount or lump sum amount. Even a single dollar or a single rupee or any currency is allowed. But in that case, please, we want, and again, we don't want, it's the UNICEF, the children who want your support and your help. Thank you for that. Now the sponsors, thank you sponsors. We again, so we communities always work without any support cost structure. Any money flow which comes in goes directly for the sessions. So the money we come through the sponsors are directly donated to UNICEF along with the anything. So we don't get earn anything. All community members, all producers, all volunteers, they stay with us 24/7, like day and night, with their work stream because it's a weekday, right? And they have been working with us. They've been doing office work, coming communications, and all those things. But everything free of cost. Nobody is charging us anything. So that's the support. When people give you, you have to give them back, right? So here we are. So thank you, sponsor MCN Solutions, Mindcracker Graphite, and Cardiolog Analytics for donating to UNICEF. We have some surprise gifts from Paid Group, Infragistics, and Soho Dragon, which will be delivered to your doorstep. As well as we are going to have gifts from CSharpCorner and the tech platform delivered at your doorstep in the raffle. So as I said, you still have 10 minutes. If you go into the site and click on the register, you will be part of the raffle. Going to my next slide, feedback. Go and give a feedback about the event, about the speaker. It can be as harsh as can be for the event because we need to learn what we went wrong and what we need to approve or improve in our life. So I think if you give us that feedback, we'll be more than angry on you. We'll be more happy. Okay, this is what we have to improve or extend or maybe grow. Like it's all about the growth, right? So please go ahead and give some feedback to speakers. Even they need to know how are they presenting, how are they doing, do they need to cover more topics, and similar way do the same thing to the event and us organizers. It's time for raffle, but before raffle, give me 1 second. I will go back to raffle. Don't worry. I want to give you some time. Go to the site. It's 2020.net/lightup. Simon is going to put it on the side here. Go to the site, register, donate. By that time, if you can, you will be part of the raffle. Now, there comes the backbone of the event, the producers. The producers are the actual hosts who are there streaming online with the speakers, introducing them, talking to them, helping them out to connect, and staying there for that duration. And they are the ones who are hosting it. So big thank you to all producers. You see them on the screen here. We have, along with them, I have a list of people and I want to shout out because they were really there. People taking their own initiative. If somebody is having a meeting, somebody goes cover up for them. If somebody is having some like power issue or a Wi-Fi network issue, people are stretching. Like they have offices, they have families, they have kids, but they're all there supporting the event. Why? So that when you stream us, you have no issues, and it's a perfect streamlined motion of all the speakers of 138 plus 6 which we added on the event day smoothly. Right? So I want to call in very quickly. I won't take less than a minute. Vishal, Nishan, Jason, Renga, Ankit, Lalit, Pooja, Santa, Dhruvan, Deepti, Shashilata, Rahul, Pablo Javier, Sophia Soul, Satpreet Singh, Swami, Tanay Roy, Jason, Aro, and Asif and Teresa. You have been amazing. And to be honest, we were really struggling to get people to host the producers. These people, when I used to just ask them, can you please look for someone? They will say, I can do it, don't worry. Like people have slept at 2, woke up at 6, like they have been there like that. So I really want to give a clap and shout out to all the producers here and coming up on the side. Thank you so much. With your help and your support, we have completed this last 24 hours. Thank you so much, producers. Special thanks to Stephen Simon and Manish and Bhaskar. Like, why I should tell them, like, Stephen and Manish, we all in different time zones. They are in India and we are here. Like I used to send them an email in the midnight, and they will be like, "Oh my God, Manpreet has sent us an email." Shit. So it was that. Never did they do that. They were always there with a happy smile, like, "Yeah, yeah, Manpreet, it'll be done." Okay, and like it was a vice versa. We never had that interaction, like as in we had in this event before. And I really thank you both. And special thanks to Bhaskar. So what Bhaskar was doing was he was making sure every live event for as attendees are running smoothly. So he will be as an attendee seeing those streaming and letting us know there is some little glitch here, or the voice is not coming properly, or the video is not better, and we will ask the speaker or set it from our end. So if you see that way, we are like filming a studio of Steven Spielberg in a Jurassic Park. Like we were so perfect. And all thanks to Bhaskar, he was there and he was there 24/7. I got his message at 4. The track number 4, the video is a little shady. I'm like, okay. I was like, so I was like, as a family person, with his kids and all, like he's staying awake till late night and he's looking as an attendee, all these single tracks. I really thank you, Bhaskar, for doing this. And as I said, I should not go back to him. But Mahesh, yes, thank you for it. This was just a talk, a simple tea talk, which became a conference here. And thank you for everything. I won't say much. Thank you for everything. You know everything what I want to say you. And the announcement, I have 2 announcements to make. The first one is Lightup is gonna be a yearly event. We will come back next year again, depending on not the pandemic. We really don't want pandemic. It should be a happy fundraiser. People should be coming happily, lively, and maybe in in-person conference rather than on a bedroom, drawing room, or a studio interface. It should be in person. So that's one of the announcements. And the second announcement is, did you guys go ahead and did you pay or not? Like, I'm waiting. We have to do the raffle. Just go and donate. And before I end the event, okay, let me come back. And as I said, we are going to see you back. Thank you to the whole team of CSharpCorner and to the backend team of Tech Platform for being with us. And number of social platforms, tweeting, LinkedIn, letting people know we are live, speakers are live, this one is going live, that one is going live. Thank you for that streamlined motion. And in the end, it comes for raffle. So let me 1 second. Again, so we have a raffle and we have built it on Microsoft technologies. It's called the Power Apps, as Suzanne was talking. So I'm going ahead and I think I need to reduce my screen a little.
I wish I had that heartbeat sound at the background.
Shit, yeah. We'll remember this for the next year now. So here we are. The first one. So the problem is I can't tell anybody to do it because I have the control. So I'm very sorry, guys. But I want to click here. So let me remember. So we have 5 prizes, okay? First lucky 5 out of... Wait, I didn't tell you that. So we received 10,832 registrations. And that's a lot. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you for being there. These registrations are very meaningful. It knows that we were on the right direction towards the fundraiser, and you liked our idea, and it's like a blessing to us that you were there and supporting it from your end. So thank you for that. So out of those 10,832 registrations, let's see the 5 winner. I think it's very fair, right? Only 5. I should be 1 or 2. The first one is Rahul Sharma. His email ID is rahulsharma. Okay, I should not pronounce that, but I'm going to take a picture. And Rahul, you're going to get a prize at your doorstep. Congratulations for that. Going quickly to the next one. Nazir Garzon from inspirite.com. Congratulations, Nazir. Quickly going to the third one. Mariano Vasquez. He was a speaker. Amazing. Thank you, Mariano, for being a speaker and being part of the event. To the fourth one. Nitin Sharma. Congratulations to you too. And we have one last person.
Anyone from the producer? Let's see.
I will do that heartbeat. Tick, 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 tick. And here we are.
Who's that?
Over, like over, congratulations, and to all of you, all the people here, thank you so much for being part of this, and thank you sponsors for giving them gift, making it like a boosting power or a motivational power for people to come in there and register. Sorry, thank you so much, everyone. And before I leave, I would just say everything what we did was for the event, was as a community to you. Everything with their free hearts and love and passion towards the children of UNICEF. They did everything like with none knowingly of the time efforts, the 24-hour sessions, speaking efforts. So in the end, we finished with 142 speakers. How I'll tell you that. So people in the morning, they were letting us know that we see some empty slots in the Spanish deck. Like we were like, okay, we kept it empty because we didn't get that many Spanish people, and they are like, we can take those slots and we want to speak. And we were like, okay, why not? Happy, go forward. And we gave them those slots, and people were so happy speaking there. And I have very amazing one incident which I want to talk to you. So in one of our speaker, he was speaking perfectly well, and we were monitoring. So if you see my screen, all the monitors here, we have 10 laptops monitoring. Everything is going well. Every speaker is going well. So he was speaking well, and all of a sudden he just went off. So when he went off, we tried reaching him by email, by LinkedIn, by Facebook, and like n number of platforms. We were not able to reach him. After like some 20 minutes, he mailed us like a very apology letter that his electricity went off and he couldn't be there. And he's like, if you can give me a chance, I would be still be able to tell you. And he waited for the whole night with us so that he get one slot empty somewhere, like somebody does something or there's a backup or something. There's a duration of like somebody speaks for 15 minutes or 20 minutes and he gets some 30 minutes. And something happened like that. One speaker had a slot at 20 minutes. I texted him back, are you ready? He was ready. And we brought him in the session and he spoke. And after that, he was so happy that he got a chance to speak. And this is the passion we look for our technology. And that's why I feel that's why we are growing that much in the technology because we are all passionate people. We want to learn, we want to teach people. And in the end, that's what is growth. And now we are fighting in our way for pandemic or and in support to UNICEF people. This is the best techie way we could have done. And if you have any suggestions, any approach, please let us know. Thank you so much for joining. Mahesh, would you like just to end the session?
So thank you again. Thank you, everybody, the team behind the scene. I know how hard it is to do these conferences. It's not easy. So thank you again. In the end, I would like to say, so, when we started this event, there were numbers says we have lost 575,000 people to this COVID. Now numbers are 582,000. So every hour we are losing people. We are going through these tough times. Cases are now, 13.5 million. That's a lot of people. And we don't even know how far we are going to go with this. So what I really want to say through this conference is every one of us, being involved in technology, being either building software or helping with data side or being managing servers, we are the frontiers of technology. We are the one who are building these new solutions. So think of this while we are going through this adverse time. Also think this as a opportunity for some of us, that how we can be better as human, how we can be better as people, because end of the day, this is our planet, this planet is our home, right? How can we give back to the planet? Means how can we use less resources and focus on just what we need, not what we want? Can we drive less? Can we have less clutters? Can we have recycle something? Think of all those, because this gives us a chance to rethink of who we are. We all remember pre-COVID times, right? Pre-COVID times, all of us were like, "Oh man, there's so much work. I have to go to office every day. I don't have time to spend with my kids." And here we are. For last since February, we are not driving. We are not going to office. We have so much time to spend with our kids. For people who have children, we are playing board games again. So take the positive note and think about this and say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is how our planet, our Mother Earth is trying to reset and taking a breathe, taking a break. So how each of us can help in that cause. And as human, we adapt and we evolve. That's why human race is the smartest one. That's how we are survival, right? That's how we survive and we innovate. Look at any adverse time, we innovate. Even on C# Corner community, we have adopted. We used to do all these events in person. Now we are moving everything online. And just with the end, I want to say everybody thank you and stay safe. And again, C#Corner community is available to anybody who needs help. If you want, you have a book coming out you want to promote, you have a show coming out you want to promote, you want to work on some of the events and speak, we are here. It's for everybody. And any way we can help as a community, you're most welcome. And thank you again. Enjoy, stay safe.
Thank you so